Everyone stops breathing momentarily when they jump into the water, and after a second or two, everyone rises to the surface the same. It has nothing to do with swimming skill. A person's lungs hold about 5 liters of air on average. It comes to the surface because of its buoyancy. However, when a drowning accident occurs, a person sinks to the bottom of the water surface. People think he sinks because he doesn't know how to swim. Is that really the case? From now on, let's explore. Why is our body floating? Why it sinks? This video shows a freediver coming up after going down more than 15 meters deep. He seems to have reached the surface well, but he sinks quickly again. If we look closely, he exhaled a lot of air before reaching the surface. When he came to the surface for a moment, he didn't inhale, so he lost his buoyancy and began to sink. If his body hadn't pushed him up, he would have sunk back to the floor as it was. By the way, why did he exhale so much close to the surface? These symptoms are also seen in top freediving athletes. First, let's look at what changes happen to human lungs at deep depths. This is a video of you diving with a plastic bottle of water that's filled with air. At a depth of 22 meters, the plastic bottle went flat. Where did the air in the bottle go? In fact, the air is still in the plastic bottle. When it comes back to the surface, the plastic bottle returns to normal. Human lungs also undergo the same changes as plastic bottles depending on the depth of the water. This is a Sahika player from Turkey who holds several world records. She is preparing for the women's 100-meter challenge. World record challenging athletes practice controlling their body's oxygen use. It also regulates the amount of oxygen that the brain uses. She calms her mind down to reduce her oxygen use. She inhales to a maximum level that will not break her calm mind just before diving. That's how much pressure in the lungs goes up. High pressure in the lungs helps to withstand deep water pressure.
There she goes.
She started diving. She's going through the positive buoyancy section now. She tries to go down, but because of the power of buoyancy, her body is pushed aside. She is using a lot of her physical strength to go down.
So good to watch.
It is currently passing through the neutral buoyancy section.
Gorgeous technique.
Just covering the
Just
hands.
rolling with it.
Now she has arrived in the negative buoyancy section. From now on, she sinks even if she stays still. The deeper the water, the faster it sinks. Her lungs are shrinking because of the water pressure, which lowers buoyancy. Due to high water pressure, blood from arms and legs begins to concentrate on the lungs. Oxygen use in relatively less important body parts is reduced. It is advantageous for protecting major organs from pressure. Her lung size shrinks as she goes down. As her lungs shrink, there is an empty space. Other organs are pushed to the place where the lungs were. She leans on free fall and goes down, saving her strength. Her consciousness is faint, as if she were asleep. She keeps going down into the lonely sea. There is no one at the target point. This video was taken with an unmanned camera. She's going where no one can go to challenge the best record. So it's a lonely journey. The free fall is getting faster and faster. Finally, she obtained a tag that proved that she had reached the target position. It's already been 1 minute and 47 seconds. However, the water surface is 100 meters above. She quickly starts to go up to the surface. Buoy rope can only be held once when turning.
No. Yeah, it could very well be her first 100 meters here.
Fantastic. Yeah, see that locking in the shoulders. She's using the body from the rib cage down to just flex the fin. Tag in the hands.
Also, Double K sponsored athlete. You can see a little bit of a smile from her action, it looked like. Then on the way up, hopefully she's enjoying this dive.
found her form, hasn't she? She's had a bit of an edgy start to the beginning of the comp, but she's really coming into it now. So good to see. Beautiful technique, and like you say, doing that cycle kicks now.
Shahika suddenly stopped 20 meters away from the water surface. Most accidents occur in this section, where the water surface is 2 to 30 meters away. The consciousness suppresses the breathing impulse that bursts out, and then suddenly becomes calm. It's a blackout. When she loses consciousness like that, all her organs are now operated only by instinct. When the breathing bursts like that, the respiratory autonomic nervous system breathes in. But it is water that enters a person's breath. When water enters a person's airways, they start coughing. It spits out a huge amount of air in this process. That's why those big air bubbles occur. When coughing up air, the autonomic nerves in the respiratory system try to breathe in again. But what comes in is water again. Like this, with no more air left to cough, her lungs stop functioning.
This is so unexpected. She's so strong.
This free diver had already lost consciousness just before reaching the surface of the water. So the cough caused a huge amount of bubbles.
I'm going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going.
There is a person who has sunk to the bottom of the water, and his breathing and pulse have stopped. When we succeed in restoring this person to cardiopulmonary resuscitation, the man spits out the water that went into his lungs. However, the amount of water that vomits is smaller than expected. Where did all the water that he might have filled in his lungs go? In reality, there was no water in the lungs. Before the inhaled water reached the lungs first stopped functioning. The water went only to the airway. Even if you are heartbroken, you must analyze the process of thinking in order to overcome the accident. A drowning accident occurs and a person sinks below the surface. Many people think that the reason why it sinks like that is because the lungs are full of water. But that's not the case. There is no water in the lungs. Instead, because the air in your lungs is almost completely drained, they lose their buoyancy and sink in. The decisive reason for the outflow of air from the lungs is cough. Coughing started when water came in through the airways. Cough is a physiological phenomenon caused by autonomic nerves. Once it starts, you can't even stop it at will. So, when we're drowning, there's a first thing we need to do. It is a necessary motion to inflate and maintain the lungs as big as possible. To breathe in, our nose and mouth must come out to the surface. However, in this case, they usually try to push their entire head to the surface. People make a lot of these mistakes. The head is the heaviest organ in our body. It takes a lot of effort to keep your entire heavy head on the surface. This is not sustainable. Only the nose and mouth needed to breathe should be brought to the surface. The back of your head and ears should be submerged. If you raise your chin, turn your head back, you get this position. In water, this posture is a crossroads between life and death. This is not an action that can be implemented with theoretical knowledge. Through real experience, our bodies must remember. That's why I need to practice. You can also practice that in the bathtub.
Also slowing down just to let that buoyancy kind of pick her up.
Bring it over the line. Super good. Looking good. Here she comes. Nice high grab.
Breathe, sign. Say it.
I'm okay! Amazing.
Fantastic. Just signal over to the box.
So happy.
Wonderful.
So much excitement.
Oh, amazing. Incredible dive from her. There's the white card.
There she has
The
it.
vindication.
National record. Shaika
Fantastic.
breaking her own national record. Her previous was